Welcome back to Be Rich. Today completes 1 year of the Russian-Ukrainian war, a war many thought would never take place. But it was very clear the way he fought in Georgia, a former Soviet colony, the way he fought Chechnya, it was only a matter of time before Putin would invade a big country. Belarus is a client state of Russia, and it was very clear Belarus and Russia together would invade Ukraine because Ukraine was becoming a liberal state. Ukraine wanted to be a part of EU, the European Union, and accept the euro as its currency. That meant liberal democracy would come up to the shores of Russia, something which Putin didn't want. Unfortunately for the Russian people, the revolution that overthrew the communists did not bring a fair democracy, and we have a fascist dictatorship in form of Putin, who is ruling Russia with an iron fist. He may be popular with the Russians, we will not know until free and fair elections are held. The first election in which he was elected was free and fair, but apart from that, very little has changed. Russia has become an autocracy. The KGB or its version, the toned down version of it, controls Russia. Russia is a police state. Descendants are hunted and killed. Even Gary Kasparov, a world chess champion, is a descendant and who is in hiding, who is running away from Russia. And there is very little the world has done to topple Putin. Putin is armed with nuclear weapons and is a very dangerous foe. Russia's economy has been sustained by export of natural gas to Europe and also crude oil. The high prices of crude oil and natural gas kept the Russian economy chugging along and gave Putin the overconfidence. Putin supposedly spent a lot of money on the Russian army and rearming it and refitting it. He thought he had a perfect fighting force. This invasion proved it was not to be. Initially, Putin thought in 10 days he will take down Kiev, dethrone Zelensky, and crown a puppet as the head of Ukraine, and he claimed it would denazify Ukraine. What he did not expect is the fight that the Ukrainians put up. The Ukrainian people don't want anything to do with Russia. The people of Ukraine are fighting this. Even before this war came, Crimea and parts of eastern Ukraine were swallowed by Russian backed rebels who were creating a tough fight, who were giving a tough time to the Ukrainian armies. The Russians annexed Crimea and finally did a false referendum and tried to annex parts of Ukraine. Within 2 months of the war, it was clear that the Russians have got bogged down and they were sitting ducks because using iPhones, grandmothers and young children were proving to be good intelligence agencies. The satellite maps provided by the NATO and the drones made sure that the Russian armored tanks became sitting ducks. Ukraine has been backed by the West. There is no crack in that. America and the West has provided them with lot of armaments and aid and has kept them armed. Boris Johnson visited Ukraine. Several leading American politicians have visited Ukraine and have kept the morale high. Zelensky made a trip to America and spoke in Congress with a Ukrainian flag draped over him, and he has got the support of the entire West and most right minded people across the world. This meant Ukraine has an endless supply of armaments and strategic material and intelligence, and it is also rumored that NATO officers are training their soldiers. All this meant Russia got a bloodied nose. So far, 7,200 civilians in Ukraine have been killed, 200,000 Russians have been killed, and Ukraine itself has lost 1 lakh of its people in war. This is a tragic situation caused by one man's madness. There is no justification for this war. Ukraine is an independent and sovereign nation. It voluntarily signed up to give up nuclear arms, with Russia and America being protected as guarantors. One of the guarantors, Russia, has violated the guarantee and attacked Ukraine. And had Ukraine kept its nuclear weapons, things wouldn't have come to such a pass. But the Ukrainians have fought very hard and valiantly and have now started to push back Russia over the last 2 months. This war today has reached a stalemate. Russia has been forced to get into conscription, which means that every male of below the age of 50 is forced to fight. These people are not motivated and will not fight. The Ukrainians, on the other hand, are fighting for their motherland and will fight with great motivation. The consequences of this war are very clear that crude oil prices are elevated. Russia has become the most sanctioned country in the world. Today, it may not affect Russia much, but as the years go by, this is really going to tighten the screws on Russia. There is limits on how much Russian oil anybody can buy and at what price you can buy. Countries like India and China are helping Russia by buying oil at discounted prices. In the case of India, the people of India are not benefited by the cheap Russian oil. It's not the public sector units which are now benefiting by cheap oil. It is basically two companies. One a Russian company, Naira, and another is Reliance's Dhirubhai Ambani's company, which is benefiting, known today by Dhirubhai's son Mukesh. They are buying cheap oil, refining it, and exporting to the world. The Indian people are not getting anything. The other major problem is Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world, is one of the largest exporters of wheat along with Russia. This market has completely dried up. This meant that wheat prices all over the world have gone through the roof. Countries like Egypt, which are major importers of wheat, are unable to import wheat, and there is pandemonium and strife on the streets of Cairo. It is not only the case of Egypt, Pakistan, Turkey, Zambia, and Sri Lanka have had major crises. This has led to a worldwide rise in inflation, which has meant that America has to increase interest rates beyond a point. This has forced many defaults, and it is very clear more nations will default. The World Bank and the IMF project that Russia's GDP will drop by 3.3 minimum, or in a worst case 5.6. We will not know what will happen in the world. Overall, the world's growth will slow down to below 3%, and some portions of the world, especially Western Europe and US, will end up in recession. All this could have been avoided had the West moved much earlier. Thank you for watching. Be Rich. If you like this video, hit the like button of this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the bell notification. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you will miss a video. Kindly send this video to your friends and relatives and urge them to have a look. Thank you for supporting Be Rich. After a successful event in Qatar, my team wanted to find out where to do an event. So they did a recce, they did a survey, and they found out that they would go back to my second home in Saudi Arabia, Dammam. So after nearly 30 years, I'm going back to Dammam. The last time I was in Dammam was in 1990, and I'm going back there to do an event on the 10th of March. We have not yet decided where it will be in Dammam, but definitely I am visiting Dammam on the 10th of March, Friday. So those who are in and around Dammam or maybe in Jeddah should make a trip to see me, and I'm going to talk about investments on where you should put out your money. Those in Bahrain can drive across the causeway and join us. See you in Dammam on the 10th of March. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.